For generations, our family name was synonymous with power, a dynasty built on what we thought was unbreakable trust. We lived in a world of gilded cages, believing ourselves invincible, untouchable. We threw lavish parties that were the talk of the town, our influence stretching across industries, our legacy seemingly secure. But looking back, there were whispers, tiny cracks in the foundation we chose to ignore. A strange business deal that didn't quite add up, a misplaced document, a rumor that was quickly silenced. We dismissed them as the cost of doing business, the insignificant static of a grand empire. We were so busy looking outward for threats, we never thought to look within. The key figures were all there. My grandfather, the patriarch who built it all. My father, the ambitious heir. My aunt, the keeper of family secrets. And then there was him, the one who was always there, in the background, quietly observing. The architect of our ruin wasn't a rival or a stranger. He was family. A distant cousin, brought in out of charity, given a menial job. A place at the table, but never a seat of power. We saw him as harmless, loyal, almost invisible. That was his greatest weapon. He started small, so small no one would ever notice. A slightly altered report, a delayed shipment blamed on a supplier, a forgotten phone message that led to a missed opportunity. He exploited our trust, our arrogance, our certainty that no one from our own bloodline would dare to betray us. He learned our weaknesses, our vanities, our deepest fears. For him, this wasn't about money or power. It was a psychological masterpiece of revenge, a slow-burning hatred born from a slight committed decades ago, a story we had all forgotten, but one he could never forgive. His plan unfolded over decades, a masterful game of chess where we were the pawns, moved around the board without ever realizing a game was being played. It was a war of attrition, fought not with armies, but with whispers, doubts, and meticulously crafted misfortunes. He would subtly pit my father against my grandfather, feeding each of them carefully selected pieces of information to sow discord. A business venture that seemed promising on paper would mysteriously fail, draining millions. He would orchestrate social scandals, leaking just enough information to tarnish our reputation, making all eyes turn into enemies overnight. Each disaster was designed to look like an accident, a market downturn, or a simple mistake. We fought amongst ourselves, pointing fingers, consumed by paranoia, blind to the puppet master pulling the strings. Our internal conflicts became his greatest allies, a fire he gleefully fanned from the shadows, watching as the family that scorned him slowly devoured itself. The day the walls finally fell is seared into my memory. It wasn't a slow crumble. It was a sudden, violent implosion. The news broke on a Tuesday morning. Headlines screamed our name, followed by words like fraud, bankruptcy, and collapse. The stock plummeted to zero in a matter of hours. The phones rang incessantly, reporters, creditors, former friends, demanding answers we didn't have. We gathered in the grand library, the same room where we celebrated our triumphs, now the war room for our defeat. The shock was absolute, a physical blow that left us breathless. It was in that moment of chaos, as our world shattered, that he finally revealed his hand. A single anonymous email sent to the entire family, detailing every step of his plan, every act of sabotage, every betrayal, culminating in this final checkmate move. The culmination of a 30-year vendetta, served ice cold. Our ruin wasn't a tragedy. It was a masterpiece of revenge. In the aftermath, we were left with nothing but the ashes of our empire and the bitter taste of betrayal. The money was gone. The houses were sold. The name that once opened every door was now a mark of shame. But the financial loss paled in comparison to the emotional toll. Trust is a fragile thing, and once shattered, it can never be truly pieced back together. Our family, already fractured by his manipulations, completely broke apart. Some of us are still trying to rebuild, others are lost in bitterness, and some we don't speak to anymore. The story of our downfall became a cautionary tale whispered in elite circles. We learned a brutal lesson. The most dangerous enemy is the one you never see coming, the one you invite into your home. It makes you wonder, how well do you truly know the people closest to you? And what silent wars are being waged in the shadows of your own life? Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.